Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen, where hopefully you can relax, grab some drawing utensils, and follow along for 15 minutes of relaxing, guided drawing using the Zentangle Method. Today I have a Micron 03 pen, a Zentangle brand graphite pencil for shading, and a tortillon for blending. Also using a 2" by 2" square tile. I like to work in small spaces if I don't have a lot of time. Feel free to use any writing utensils you have, any pencil you have. If you don't have a tortillon, you can use the corner of a tissue or a Q-tip. And feel free to use any paper, envelopes, scraps, whatever you have on hand to doodle on today. All right, I'm gonna start by picking up my pen, flipping over my tile, and writing the name of the tangle I'm using today. So this one is called Crescent Moon. And that was created by the Zentangle founders. Okay. Flip that back over. I'm going to switch to pencil. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, relax your shoulders. All right, I'm going to start by putting 4 little dots, 1 in each corner, and then connecting those dots to make a little frame for my artwork. I'm not concerned with making these straight. There we go. All right, and the Crescent Moon is a tangle that you can use on anything you're working on. Today, I'm going to draw a moon and put the crescent moon inside the moon. So we don't typically draw an object to draw in, but I thought that would be a fun thing to do. So I'm going to draw a moon by making a circle, kind of like a full moon, up towards the top of my paper. I'm just going to leave a little bit of space at the bottom. And I'm just using my pencil to make a circle. I'm going to switch to pen. And I'm going to leave this upper right hand portion of the moon open. So I'm just going to start right about there. And I'm going to follow along that shape that I made and come up and stop. Then I'm going to go to the tip of that first line. And I'm going to mimic that C shape and connect those 2 ends to make my moon. Okay, so to create the crescent moon shape, we're going to make these little bumps along the edge, and we're going to color them in. And after we color it in, we're going to make an aura, which is a line that follows that bump. That is crescent moon in its most basic form. I'm going to enhance it a little bit by adding a second line today. I'm going to go ahead and make another one near it. It can be far apart, it can be close together, it doesn't really matter. Since it's bumping into this one, I need to imagine my line going behind it. Make another one over here. Coloring it in. And making those auras. I'm going to put one up here in the corner. And I'm just adding those little auras. And when I touch an existing shape, I lift my pen and I come out the other side. Crescent Moon is one of the first tangles that you'll learn if you take a beginner's Zentangle class, because it's rather simple and it's easy to get into that motion of just making these bumps and making these lines. Now that one I tucked right into the corner of that, just because I want these to look a little more random and not so uniform. Playing around with how they look. And doing my lines there. Adding one over here. For this middle part, I'm just going to go back and sneak some in between. Just keep adding these little dark bumps. And those lines. Now I have some white spaces left over. And instead of trying to fill those with bumps, I'm just going to fill them with auras of existing lines. So this one right here, I'm going to choose this shape to aura. I'm just going to fill that in. Over here, I'm going to aura this one. And my space is filled. Okay. Now I'm going to aura the entire moon, which means I'm going to make a line around the entire thing. But when I do this, I'm going to go real slow and gentle. And I'm going to add, every once in a while, a little break in the line. And maybe a dot or two. Just like that, this adds a little bit of character. Okay, now that's all outlined and auraed. And now I'm going to add some charms. This is not a Zentangle tangle per se, but I'm going to add these little charms that in the Zentangle world we call Zendangles. And to do this, I'm going to make a little wiggly line down and add a star shape. Add another little wiggly line and make a circle. I'm going to add a couple down here also. Little wiggly line and maybe a heart. And a little wiggly line, maybe a circle, or maybe even one more. And underneath these charms, I'm going to add some little dots, just for fun. Okay, now I'm going to go back and do my frame. So to do my frame, I'm just going to very lightly fill in this frame. And when I get to parts of the moon or the charms that maybe overlap, I'm just going to lift my pen and jump up. Because this is kind of a little whimsical, I'm going to add some little dots just to enhance that frame. Not a lot. And that's it for the drawing. I'm going to pick up my graphite pencil and add a little bit of shading to this. So for the shading, I'm going to go to that very first crescent moon shape that I made, and I'm going to go along the outside of it and add some graphite on the outside of that rainbow type shape. And what that does is gives the illusion that this crescent moon is over the other moons. Then I'm going to go to this shape over here, and again I'm going to do the outside of it where it goes over other ones. Pick this one. I'm just adding some graphite to the outside of these shapes where it overlaps another shape that I made. Not every single one is going to need shading, but a few of them will. And then I'm going to take my tortillon, and I'm just going to go back in and softly spread out that graphite, barely touching it. That just makes the inside of that moon look like it has some layers. Okay, now I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to add a little bit of graphite around the outside edge of this frame. Just a little bit. Tortillon. And soften that. Kind of push it towards the edge of the tile. See how that just adds a little bit of a shadow. And then with my blending tool, I've already got some graphite on it. I'm just going to put some shadow behind these charms. And it's done. Just need to add our initials. I'm going to put mine really tiny inside this heart. And then I always flip my tile over. I write the date, and then I always put a little star or a heart, and I write a little journal entry, just something that's on my mind, something that's on my heart, something I'm praying for, something wonderful that's happened in the last day or two, anything you want, just a little journal entry to sort of remind yourself of what was going on in your life as you were making this little tile. So the date and a journal entry. And that's it. Thank you so much for following along. I hope you enjoyed it.